So I'm Carina Mallard from Gothenburg University. I'm a professor in neuroscience. I do research since my PhD was finished 1995, and I did that PhD in New Zealand and worked already then on brain injury in the newborn. Then continued in Australia for a postdoc, and then returned back to Sweden in 1999, and I worked there till now. And still at Gothenburg University. No, I actually did my undergraduate studies in Lund University, which is the very south of Sweden. And then I went abroad for my PhD in New Zealand, and then my postdoc in Melbourne University in Australia. Yes, so I was very lucky to get a associate professorship from the Swedish Research Council, actually. Mm-hmm. And that's what brought me back to Sweden to set up my own career. Yeah. Deputy Vice-Chancellor of Research at the university at the moment. So that includes working with the research board for the university with all the different faculties. We also have special councils for ethics and another one for PhD studies. So we're trying to combine these different aspects of research in these different either board or in councils. Which includes all the faculties. I think it's always a collaboration. Gothenburg University is a very broad university. We have several faculties, and they stem from medicine to humanities to arts. And I think sometimes to get these different aspects of research to work together is a challenge, mm-hmm. But also very, very much fun, of course, and interesting. I have 20% research in my position. Maybe I don't spend quite so much time on research, but I have a very good team in my lab, so I'm very lucky to be able to use them for...
Still attached to the
Absolutely, your lab, yes. We are very busy writing papers, applying for money all the time, mm-hmm. So. Well, EUTOPIA, I only been in my position for a year. So EUTOPIA was already sort of settled, already there when I started. So I took over the leadership of TRAIN when I started, which is the research part or a project within the EUTOPIA sort of pilot project. And that's basically how I've started to connect with all the other parts of EUTOPIA as well. Yes, our idea is that we think it's important that we form the very best basis, the platforms for the researchers to work. And they can choose what subjects they want to study or research on. But I think the important thing is that we give them the right conditions to excel in their fields that they choose to work in, basically. And I think that can be done across sectors, across universities, and I think we can gain from communicating with each other and then take this one step further. And I already know that there are communities that have met through EUTOPIA who would probably not have worked together in otherwise. So it's not it's a long-term project. I think we have to give it time. Everyone has to start to learn about each other before they can obviously trust each other enough to start a research project. But I think in the long run it will lead to further collaborations. And of course the innovation side is going to be hopefully the end point of sort of the next step of the research. Well, first of all, I think within TRAIN we have developed a grant and innovation office combined, and it's established that within the project. And that includes all the participating universities, and that's obviously going to be important because then they can work together on different aspects of how to implement these things, both in the public but also in industry. And then I think we have to try and work as much as we can with companies. And that can of course be regional companies, but also they can be international companies. And I think we have great potential there, particularly on the international side. If we start to develop strategies for approaching them and working together to combine our research efforts, then I think that's definitely an output that we should be looking for. And there is important, I think, to work with the communications or regulations so that we understand each other enough to be able to share the information, because of course there's information, both company patents and that sort of thing, needs to be really carefully regulated. And I think there we have to really think about how do we combine this within Europe, so that we speak the same language. We talked a lot about multilingual approaches,
Yes,
and I think this is a different language that we need to be able to speak. My vision would be that we would be global, and that would be the sort of end goal, I think. So having a European identity, that could be that we are setting certain standards, for example, that we do things ethically, we have sustainable sort of basis for everything we do. That could be our European trademark, if you like. But then, of course, the global market is what we would aim for as an end point, yeah.